Guys, okay, in this video we are going to build out our user interface. I believe in the previous video I showed you guys how to we designed the wireframe of the app, and we saw the various screens that will be required to get this bit out. So in this video we are going to be creating those designs. I think what I was supposed to do in the previous video was to create the folder structure, but that is not a problem. We can actually create it here. So the first thing I do is to create my folder structure. So I think we have the screens. I think I added dependency in the last video. Okay, so I'll create a screen and then a provider. This is more like where I create all my providers. Remember, we're using provider for this. All right, if also I create a util class, which is where I write my utility files and all those stuff. I also create a widget class, but I don't know if we'll be using that for this video. But let me just create the file, the directory, and drop for now. Okay, so inside this screen I do have a main activity. Since we'll be using sorry, I'm coming from Android background, so I normally use a main activity like the main home page of the app. Since we'll be using bottom nav, so that's why I'm creating the main activity that is going to house this very page that will have the bottom nav, and then we can create home page for images and the home page for videos. All right, so quickly let's create our splash screen and then connect every bit together. All right, so in that case I'm going to inside here I'm going to create a new file. So I will call this one splash screen .dat, like so. Okay, so inside my main.dat I'm going to quickly remove all this stuff because they are not needed. So we're going to import material app. So I believe all these parts is already familiar with you guys, so you can actually skip if you want. We return splash screen there. So inside here I'm going to quickly create my splash screen. So I'm going to try my best to minimize these videos to be short, and once it gets to a certain level I'm going to cut it, and then we'll have a second part, okay, just to simplify everything and make it understandable for everyone. So I'm going to have a splash screen here, and this splash screen is just going to be simple. So we're just going to have, remember I said I'm going to use Flutter logo, so inside there we're just going to have our scaffold widget, and here we're going to have a body, and I will call this it's going to be a center with a child, so I'll be using Flutter logo for this, which is a widget. Awesome, so we get that bit out, and so let's quickly navigate to our splash screen. So I'm going to quickly import this stuff here, and so what am I missing? Splash screen, oh, not properly spelled. Okay, so I'm going to quickly change that. Okay, cool. So let's import it here quickly. All right, that bit is done for us. Okay, and so do a hot restart. You can see we have the Flutter logo here showing, but this is not the main page. The main page is supposed to be the main activity where we're going to create our bottom nav, right? So I'm going to quickly create this. Okay, instead of reinventing the whole wheel, I'm just going to copy this stuff and paste it here. Oops. Copy this, and I'm going to paste it here like so. So I'll change this from splash screen to main activity. Like so. We have our main activity right now. So instead of having this body, I'm just going to have a bottom nav here. Okay, but before I do that, let me just quickly navigate to the next screen. So this splash screen is going to have a delay of I think 3 seconds. So I'll just call this one void navigate. So it's just going to be a method, and I'll use my future okay, the delayed. So I'll just set a duration of 2 seconds. I just want everything to be fast. Okay, then once we get that bit up, we can use our navigator. So I'm just going to be using navigator property here. Okay, dot push, push and remove because I don't want to keep the previous route, so I'm going to use that. I normally use Cupertino to give me this Cupertino field. Okay, Cupertino page route, so you can use material page route if you want, and nothing will still spoil. Okay, so we're just going to return this here. All right. Okay, so I think we are almost good to go. Just close this bit, and now inside here I'm just going to have an init state that will just navigate to that page. So I will just call navigate here. All right, so we are good. Let me run this again, and you're going to see it's going to take us to the main activity page. So inside here now we're going to be building our bottom nav just as it is here. All right, so quickly let's see how to create those bits immediately. So I'm just going to have a bottom nav here, and I'll have a bottom, I think this is button navigation bar, and it takes an item of bottom navigation bar item. Yep, so it's just going to be an icons dot image. I think that should work. So I don't know where we're having that error. Okay, let me take this bit off. So we have this stuff here. Save it up. I think we should have, okay, something is wrong. I need a length. Okay, the length must be 2. Yeah, so to fix this, I'm just going to exit this, and so I'll just copy this one to make it 2, like so. Okay, so instead of this being image, it's going to be video. Okay, let's just use video call. Yeah, because I can't find any nice one, so let's just use video there. Let me quickly show up the emulator, and we're still having errors because it requires a label. Okay, so exit that. Sorry, my bad, I don't know what's wrong with me. So I'll just add a label. So this is going to be image, and also add another label here. So this is going to be video. All right, so this is going to be our status saver video. All right, save that quickly. Maybe do a hot restart to fix that. Yeah, so we have our 2 buttons, but for now they are not working. Okay, so the reason why I use provider is because I want to avoid using what is it called, set state. So everything we are going to be doing in this video is going to be based on provider. All right, so I will quickly create the bottom nav page, then in the next video we are going to create other pages. All right, so quickly I'm going to have a body. Think inside here I'm going to create a folder called bottom nav pages. All right, so since we have 2 pages, images and video, I will just create a folder as well. Image, yeah, so I think image you still have on home page, something like that. So we have another one, video, and this image now will just have image.dat, which is like the home page of the image file, and we're also going to have video.dat, like so. All right, so quickly I'm just going to copy this stuff. I think, yeah, this would work. And inside the image, I just want to create an image view. So I'll get rid of this stuff because it's not needed. Yeah, it's only needed for data bits. Okay, so I'll change this stuff now to, okay, just leave it like that. We are going to make those changes later. I just want to create dummy pages for the images and videos and other stuff. So I'll have image home page. Yeah, like so. Yeah, we have that bit. And then this video, just paste. Okay, let me just copy this one here. And so inside this image homepage, I'm going to change it to video homepage. All right, so yeah, that's it, guys. So I think for now we are not really navigating to the pages. So what I will quickly do is to add these 2 pages in a list. All right, inside the main activity. So I will just create a list of widgets. Yeah, I will just have the body. So I'll call this one pages that we want to go to. And inside here I'll have my image home page, like so, and I'll have my video home page, like so as well. So yeah, that works, and they are going to be consts. Yeah, so these are just the pages. Okay, but in a normal sense I'm supposed to create an index, right? And from that index I'm also going to create a set state once this stuff changes, because I think this stuff has an unchanged property on top. Yeah, then I will now call set state, you know, to update the value, but I don't want to use that. So I want to do everything with the provider dependency. The provider, yeah, the state management package. All right, so for this, I think we also need to have a body here, but to just make everything easy, I'll just use a 0 index. Okay, but this is not nice. Normally it should change once we click on these stuffs here, and then we can change the current index. No, yeah, the current index here. Let's just set it to 0 for now because the default one is 0, but this is not nice. Okay, so quickly before we move on to the next phase, let's just quickly wrap this up. So inside the provider, I'm going to create a bottom nav provider like so. So it's going to have, we're just going to call it a class bottom nav that extends change notifier. Okay, so if you understand provider, you should already know what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to create a setter and a getter that takes is an integer, so the current index, and it's going to be 0, the initial one. Yeah, so it's going to be private just for this class alone. Then we're going to create a setter, so I'll just call this int, a getter, sorry, I think it's going to be get current index. Okay, I just want to change this name to match what we are trying to get. All right, cool. So we're just going to have another setter here. So I'll just call this void, okay, change index, something like this. So it takes a value of integer, which is the current page, and what we're just going to do, we just reset that value with this one like so, and then we just call notify listener. But for us to use this, we need to register it, right? So that is why we're going to go back to the main activity.dat. Since this is provider, we need to register it. So in that case, I think I'll just comment this for now, and I'll just return a multi-provider. The reason why I'm using multi-provider is because we are going to use more than one providers. Okay, and it takes providers property, which is a list, and we just have a change notifier provider, and that takes context. You can actually use underscore because I don't think I'm using the context. Then we can return the bottom nav provider, okay, which is the one I'm returning. Yeah, the bottom nav provider, which is, oops, where is it? Yeah, this class. So it's going to register it because provider is very useless without any data type, so we need to specify the data type. Yeah, so if you have more than one provider class, you can actually create all of them here. That's why we use multi-provider. It allows us to register so many providers. Okay, so once you do that, we are going to return this material app as a child. Okay, so we just have to have, I think the multi-provider has a child property, yeah, which we can just return there like so. I think we need to get rid of the comments and save it up. All right, so run your app to just register everything. So once that is done, we are going to go back to our main activity. So quickly, I'm just going to wrap this scaffold widget with a consumer widget, okay, to give us access to our provider. So consumer is useless as well because, just as I said, provider is useless without a data type. So we need to specify the data type we want to listen to. All right, so we'll be using bottom nav provider like so, and it takes, what did I just do? Think this is not actually the best way I do this stuff. What I normally do, I wrap it with stream builder because it gives me everything that is needed. Okay, then I will just edit it. So I wrap it with stream builder, change this data type to this, change this one to consumer, and remove the stream, then change this to nav, that is the name, and then call this one child. So we're just going to import this stuff to get rid of those errors. Yeah guys, I think that's pretty much it. Get rid of the stream. I thought I removed it initially. Yep, so we got that bit. So we want to change these pages now once the user taps. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, on change, I'm just going to set the value to, I'm just going to change the value calling nav. So if calling nav dot change index, which is this stuff you are calling now change index. Okay, then we're now going to pass the value there. Yep, like so. So once you tap, it's going to change the index. Then this current index will no more be 0. It's going to be the nav dot the current index, okay, that changes, which is this one, right? the getter. All right, awesome. Then this one as well is going to be nav.currentIndex. Okay, so I save that bit up. You're going to see once you tap now, this color changes. Yep, and the page also changes. But how do we know that the page is changing? So I'm just going to quickly change this stuff here to a test widget, and I will call it image, and I will change this one to a test widget, and I will call it video. Save it, and you can see image current index, and this one video, just like that. So we are not using set state, and nothing is rebuilding unnecessarily. So this is all the things we need for this main activity. So we are not going to be touching this class anymore. Everything we'll be doing now is inside this images, videos, util class, and every other part of the pages. But this bottom nav is done for us, okay, which is where we have the main activity. So if you also have a drawer that should be everywhere within the app, you can actually add it here as well, and it will work. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. In the next video, we're going to build the grid view and every other pages, yeah, and then we'll start the integration.